Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 140th edition of Cinema Effect. I'm Zach, and I'm joined by Cinema Effect's most popular member on Letterboxd, aka Fitzy, aka Liam.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Not much.
I didn't even know
much.
that. That's great.
I've definitely used that nickname at least twice before.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I've used it before. I think Jayden created it originally, actually.
Oh, yeah, for one of the things he was hosting, episodes he was hosting, yeah.
And you're being modest, as if you didn't know that. You knew that. You definitely knew that.
I have like 10 followers or some shit. I don't know.
No, you don't. You got more than that, right?
But
I'm
they're
pretty sure you
all
do.
bots, pretty much, I feel like.
I don't know. You used to write more reviews, I feel like.
Did I?
They're real.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. But Andy's like legit the most popular in the community, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Andy has quite a following these days.
Yeah. I saw his reviews get quite a few likes outside of us, you know? Sometimes I feel like, I'll be nice and give Andy a like because he needs my charity. And then it's like, no, he's already got 5 likes. It's fine. He's doing fine out there, you know?
Yeah,
really, I need his charity for my reviews, really, to be honest. But yeah, when was the last time we did this, just us? Was it Incredible Hulk? Do you know?
Oh.
I think.
Maybe. So there was Many Saints and Incredible Hulk, so one of those two.
Incredible Hulk was more recent. So
okay. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
What's it with us doing average movies, man? We gotta do a good one sometime.
Spoilers! I know. Actually, what is up with that? Yeah, I don't know. I think we just got unlucky because Jayden did want to do this movie. I don't know if he's still going to watch it or not, but anyway, yeah, it's just how it worked out, I guess. But hopefully we can break the streak. Probably not today, though. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Lawless, which opened in the US on August 29th, I think I did this last week. I wrote 2022. No, 2012, all right? It was directed by John Hillcoat. It's a biography crime drama. And the synopsis says, set in Depression-era Franklin County, Virginia, a trio of bootlegging brothers are threatened by a new special deputy and other authorities angling for a cut of their profits. You already spilt the beans, but, give me some more details on your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I think Luke was correct on this one. It's incredibly mid. There's really not much to say about it, other than some good performances, but
we'll try.
They don't really add up to much, so I don't know. It's just a very average movie.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy this film overall, I must say. I think the third act is probably the best.
Yeah,
I would say.
I enjoyed parts of the third act.
Yeah. It has the most meat on the bone, I think, in terms of like actual interesting events taking place, which is a good start for a script. You know what I mean? And yeah, there are some cool scenes, I will say, and so there were some moments that were kind of neat. But man, I don't know. I just couldn't care less for so much of this. Very little about it at all was standing out. It doesn't help how I watched it either. I watched literally the first 2 acts and was falling asleep. Not entirely the film's fault. It was sort of late, but so then I came back the next day and watched the third act. But dude, that experience watching the first viewing experience, the first day was it was just pretty mind numbing. There was not a lot going on there, to be honest.
Yeah.
And even I don't know. I feel like compared to some other sort of mid movies that we've done and some films I've thought were average that we've reviewed, like usually, even if I don't love it, like overall, I feel like I still sort of come in, with different takeaways, because we're doing the podcast. I sort of watched it a bit differently, and I sort of come in with things I still appreciate, like, oh yeah, that was cool, or I like how they did that. I sort of look at more the technical aspects and things like that. Here, like, I tried, and there just wasn't a lot, even in that department, to really talk about or to really, go over, I don't think. But
I was going to say that because, like, even in a mid-movie that we did, like Godzilla vs. Kong, I feel like that was still somewhat engaging for me. Like, that was pretty mid for me, but I feel like it had something to it. Like, it's still dumb fun, at least.
Yeah. And that film knows what it is, too.
Yeah. Self-aware, yeah.
Yeah. The comparison that comes to mind for me, just because it was probably one of the more recent ones, was See How They Run, where like I thought it was sort of an average experience, but I don't know, like there were charming lines and there was a tone and a vibe that came through on screen that was quite unique and colourful and interesting, you know. I'm
Yeah.
just talking about other films because we've got nothing for
More
this. We're just like
interesting,
this, just like this one's just a shrug, dude. Oh my god, this film. To look on the bright side, because I think narratively it doesn't do a whole lot well, but to look on the bright side, I do think it does an okay job at easing you into the world, the time period, the setting. That is the one thing I will say that I liked about the film unequivocally was the time period. I like period pieces. I don't know. I like things set in the olden days where everyone gets to do a cool accent and there's cool cars driving around. You know what I mean? Like I'm sort of into that. Not that it does it in any executes it in any like amazing way, but like they did it. They did the thing. You know, it looks right and sounds right and all that sort of stuff. And so like I enjoyed the introduction into the world at the start and learning about the characters, and learning about the sort of the bootlegging side of things because I didn't really know anything about that. So like I enjoyed the first few minutes there.
yeah.
Uh,
I feel like they usually focus on like the mafia city aspects of it as well. Like I think in
yeah.
in the Untouchables, the prohibition like focuses on. I think it's in Chicago, and it's just like based on like Al Capone and the city and stuff, which I kind of mention in this. And obviously, Gary Oldman's character Floyd Banner is like involved in that side of it, so that they kind of allude to that city life in the, like that period. But it like setting it in the country, I guess, gives it a bit of a different angle. I guess I don't think I've seen a film that kind of does that. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Is Public Enemies? I haven't seen it. Is that also in this time period? This sort of vibe? Yeah.
I saw some people make comparisons to it, so I think it was. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not really the same at all. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. So I'm interested in this time period. So that was kind of cool. And at the start of it, like I must say, like what the hell was up with that cast list though? Like as the when the actors' names just keep coming up.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fun. That was cool. It just kept going. It was like Jason Clarke. Oh really? Jessica Chastain, Gary Oldman. Guy Dane DeHaan, it just kept going. I was like, "What the hell is this?" So like, I can't knock the cast at all. You know, some great, fantastic actors in here. Not the least of which is Guy Pearce having no eyebrows. You know.
Yeah, I did that thing that you did, where I was like, "Wait, he looks weird. Wait, what's weird about him?"
Yeah.
Oh, no eyebrows, obviously. And then he has that that part in the middle of his hair that's like shaved, like down his head.
Yeah. Is that is that a real thing that people did? Like, what was that?
I don't know. I feel like that's the thing that he did. I don't know. That's too weird to be normal.
He was just weird, right? That character.
Yeah,
and like everything about
I think
him.
so. I think so. He was like a cleanliness freak,
right?
Person. Like he hated dirt and stuff, messiness.
Is that why he hated his eyebrows? He got rid of them.
I think so. I don't know. Probably. I don't know why.
I'm so much more attuned to the eyebrows now that it was really disturbing the whole time just seeing this man act with no eyebrows. His character was like he's a psychopath, I guess, right? Like he's just like he's just evil. Okay, cool.
So like he's corrupt, I guess, and at the first he's trying to get in on it, but then later he just kind of stamps down on everyone, I think.
Oh, right. So that's what that introduction scene with him is, and his boss is there in the car, right? When they're all standing around.
Because I think they want like a cut of it. They said, "Oh, we're going to allow you to like go past the borders, and let the police will ignore you, but you have to give us a cut." But they already had that going on, but they
that's right.
Yeah,
but that wasn't like made super clear, right? Like it was just. I mean, I'll take credit for misunderstanding that they were trying to take a cut because I probably was like my eyes were probably half closed in that scene, to be honest.
No, yeah, I almost missed that too.
Yeah, right. but like, I mean, in terms of the transition from then his character and his department then wanting to just go all in on destroying them. Like, dude, I mean, we'll get to it later, but like that whole final scene where Guy Pearce is like incensed with rage for these people. And I just never really understood why. Like, why do you care so much about this? Like, he thinks like they'd killed his wife or something, you know? Like, I feel like there was a motivation to this character that just they never delved into.
His rage at the end just kind of comes from nowhere, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, I understand Jack's side of it, but then his, I'm like, I don't know. It was like totally weird. Came out of nowhere. But I must say, when he did kill Dane DeHaan's character, that was cool though. That, I must admit, that was one of the few moments in the film where I sort of like sat up, because it's, you know, obviously a pretty intense thing to do, and the way he killed him. And then it was also like, oh, it was that crossover line that I sort of needed, I think, to get a little bit more invested in the climax of the film, just because, like, prior to that, I was in this state of confusion with him that we're talking about, and I was sort of just like, okay, he's just an evil cop guy who wants to take them down, whatever. And I, like, needed that extra vicious streak. I needed to see it to, like, finally get that this guy's, like, the worst thing ever, you know?
Okay.
So that was kind of a cool scene. Yeah, yeah. Who the hell else was there? There was Tom Hardy in this film. Oh, yeah, I mean, he's, like, the main... I guess no. Shia LaBeouf, you would say, is the main character,
yeah, he's
right?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Tom Hardy is here. He feels like the stand actors with the question of the show about him this week. But I mean, we got for the question best favorite Tom Hardy performance. Should it have been worst Tom Hardy performance? Is that a bit too harsh?
Oh, you didn't like it at all?
No.
It was fine. It was fine. It was,
I feel like
there was nothing great about it. But
no, absolutely not. No. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair. Maybe I will say the character is lame. The character is so lame. Maybe that's what it is. I don't think Tom's doing it. I don't think Tom's doing a bad job necessarily. He's doing nothing for me. And then the character is like, I feel like I know nothing about this guy other than the fact, like, I get that his brother's sort of, he's the oldest brother, right? So I get the sort of relationships there, mainly between oh my god, Howard in the film. That third brother feels like you could cut him out of the film and nothing would change. I don't even understand why he's in it.
I think so. Howard's the older brother. And
he is?
Tom Hardy's the middle brother. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, really? Why does Tom Hardy run the place then?
I don't know. He just does. He's just Tom Hardy. Well, the older brother's like,
fair enough.
Howard's like more. He's like the Sonny, you know. He's more like impulsive, so he doesn't have the control to like run it, you know.
Right. Okay. That's a good analogy. Okay, that makes sense to me. But I don't know. We learn that Forrest, his name's Forrest, Tom Hardy's character. He runs the bootlegging operation with his brothers. He sort of runs a tight ship. You know, he's sort of a man of few words, I guess you would call him. But and I get that in the first 5 minutes, and then I feel like I learn nothing else about him for the rest of the movie. You know, I just there's not a lot of character development, not a lot of stuff really going on, and it's not for lack of screen time. It's not for lack of scenes, because you have this whole thing going on with him. I mean, we can talk about how he gets murdered like 5 times and then always survives, which is like kind of weird. But he's also got this whole thing going on with Jessica Chastain in the film. I don't know anything about her either in the film. Like, I get she came there for a job because she wanted to escape the city. You know, but I feel like, does this make sense to you? Like, I feel like there's just so little of substance despite these subplots taking, like, these subplots are here and they are lengthy. Like, it's not like they're glossed over in terms of screen time, but it's just like, there's not much to them. I don't really understand why they like each other. I don't understand why she likes him. I don't understand what he sees in her. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't understand, Liam.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Is Tom Hardy like low key with this accent practicing for Bane? What are your thoughts?
Practicing for Bane?
I feel like
just
where
grunts.
he speaks from the and where he speaks from the throat, like when he's like, yeah, he sort of has that.
Did he even know he was going to be Bane at this point?
He did because I got some trivia. Thank you for asking.
Maybe this movie was just a practice run for him. Didn't even care about the film.
I not even the accent was sort of a joke, but Tom Hardy's character was originally supposed to be slimmer, but Hardy had to bulk up for The Dark Knight Rises. So he was like he was in physical prep for Bane during this.
Because like my mom commented on that. She said like, he's bigger than he's bigger than he was when he played Bane. I'm like, well, that's not true, but he is a bit bigger. He does,
right?
Yeah. He's got a bit.
She was totally correct. Yeah. So I don't know. So when I read that, I sort of felt like, was Tom? I don't know. Like he knew he had to do this sort of deeper accent, this sort of southern accent, but like, was he sort of low key just like testing out Bane?
Channeling it,
Yeah, channeling Bane. When he's like, when Jessica Chastain's walking up to him, Ben, he's like, "What are you doing?" Like, I feel like there's a bit of Bane. I'm not gonna lie, it's sort of there. Funny. Oh God. Are you a fan of Shia LaBeouf? Overall, would you say?
I don't know what I've seen him in really, other than the obvious. I think he was good in Pieces of a Woman. I think he was good in that.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I don't really know. But he's good. He's a good actor.
Do you? I think he's good too. Do you say his name? I feel like everyone says his name fast. Is his first name meant to be 1 or 2 syllables? Is it Shy or Shire? Are you meant to say Shire?
Oh yeah, I say Shire.
But do some people say Shy? Or are they just saying it quickly and I'm just dumb? And they're saying like Shire.
I don't know. I think, but the main point of difference is the last name is like LaBeouf or LaBeouf, right? LaBeouf. I guess that would be the French way to say it.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
If I were to read the name and never have heard it said, I would say LaBeouf. But I hear LaBeouf, therefore. But that's the only reason I say LaBeouf is because I've heard other people say LaBeouf. But they're probably wrong. It's like a Chinese whispers thing.
I feel like if you say LaBeouf, then it's Shy, and if you say LaBeouf, then it's Shia. Because I think Shia is more French. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf actually sounds terrible, but Shia LaBeouf is a cool name when you say it like that. Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, I think that's a cool name.
Yeah.
It's actually much cooler than Shia LaBeouf now that I think about it. Which
100%. Yeah, I'm going with Shia LaBeouf from now on. Don't know if it's correct at all, but anyway. How is he for you in this film? Other than the fact, because like for me, I like him as an actor. I think he's got good screen charisma overall. Like I don't know. Like I always liked him. I haven't seen the films in forever, but I know Jayden will preach the word. Like I've always enjoyed him in Transformers. I think he carries those movies quite well, and I think he does the same here. Not that the character's anything incredible, but I think he does his job well, I guess.
Well, I forgot to mention he was in American Honey, which I think is his best performance. He's really good in that. He plays like a kind of bad boy, like influencing. They go around the country and like scam people, kind of, and he's kind of one of the leaders of that. He's really good in that, and he plays like the opposite character in this, so he's pretty diverse, I guess, in his range. But yeah, his performance here is it's alright. I was surprised how much of a kind of innocent face he can have, like a baby face kind of thing. Because the style of the movie kind of feels very baby faced. Not that that's his acting ability, that's just his face. But yeah, I don't know. He's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's got this. See, another subplot. He's got this sort of romantic thing going on with the Australian lady.
Oh yeah,
Mia I don't know.
Wachowski. Wachowski.
What you say it, Wachowski?
Oh yeah, or is it Wachowski? Oh.
I don't think there's a H in it. But I don't know.
Oh, you mean
I don't know how
it's
you say it.
CK?
I thought it was just WACI.
I thought it was CH.
Oh shit! No, I could be wrong. I don't know. Again, an example of the film sort of having too much going on, I think. But I will say, like those actual scenes between them, like when he takes her out in the car and stuff, like those are cute. Like I don't know. I would say for me, on a scene by scene level, in terms of engagement, like those scenes are probably some of the more engaging scenes in the film, just because they seem to have good chemistry and it felt like I don't know, like it was kind of engaging to watch those scenes. I thought like the line where she says, "Oh, you know, you still got your price tag on your jacket." Like that's cute. That's a good line.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the scene where he was like talking to her and she was in the car was like kind of like amusing in like a cringy kind of way.
Oh yeah, no, it was super cringe when it was like looking in the mirror.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of like when the dad was in the like working.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Um.
Were you looking in the background the whole time for the dad to walk out?
Oh yeah. I was like, which one's the dad? Yeah.
I feel like the film could have done a better job of actually like using that as a device, because I feel like everyone watching it would have been doing that. But like I kept staring, I'm like, oh, he's right there. Oh no, that's just an extra. He's there. Oh, it's just another. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was pretty weird. But yeah,
I thought he was out there, but he had the big beard, and that wasn't. He came at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the church scene, I think is actually pretty funny. It's just that made me laugh.
Oh yeah.
The zoom in on the feet, I was like, that was fucking funny.
So what actually was that? Was he just nervous and that was it because she was there?
Well, he wasn't just nervous, and he wasn't just nervous and excited, we'll say, but he was also drunk off the moonshine, so that's why he had to vomit. Yeah, he had to like run out of there. That was just
gotcha.
Funny scene. That was a weird scene.
It was a weird scene. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Speaking of Shia LaBeouf drinking moonshine, here's some trivia. He drank moonshine in order to gain as authentic an appearance as possible, which I didn't realize it affected your appearance, but okay. By his own admission, his drinking and over-aggressive attitude towards co-star... Oh, I've got it written here. Shit. Mia...
Oh, yeah, it was actually totally different to what I said.
Wasikowska? Oh, that's terrible. That's not right.
Yeah.
Mia, to try and leave the film. Well, actually, wanted to leave it. God, their chemistry was well acted then. He also stated that Tom Hardy maintained his sobriety throughout the shoot and gave a better performance. So this man trying to come out here method acting, maybe he really did need to vomit, you know? Maybe that's why the scene was so ripe, you know?
Wait, isn't there... So, about the change your appearance thing.
Mm.
In Skyrim, don't they have... They have moonshine in Skyrim, don't they? And doesn't that do something special? Or is it...
I don't know. Is it called moonshine?
It's called something... Like, there's a special, like, drink, right? That vendor... Like, one of the vendors on the street gives you. Like, not in a castle, but in, like... Like,
yeah, what you're saying sounds familiar.
Outside the main castle. And it's like moon something.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I couldn't place it.
And that has like special properties. So maybe moonshine has this like mythic, like legend to it about it giving you special powers or some shit. Or maybe it does do something special. I don't know. Maybe it cures aging.
Whoa.
Who knows?
Wow, it did for Shia LaBeouf's baby face, apparently. I don't know. I mean, I guess good for him for trying to method act. An interesting way to do it. But there you go. Also, Tom Hardy and Shia LaBeouf got into a physical altercation on set. That's all it says. Do we care to speculate as to what this physical altercation, what the hell that means and what that would have been? Like, is that just like that could be anything. They could have had a huge ass brawl. They could have just like one of them could have lightly shoved the other one.
We'll never know. Maybe Bane was
I need more details.
Practicing again.
Practicing for what?
For fighting Batman. In the
oh yeah.
In the
Tom was doing his method acting.
Mm.
He's like, Shy, practice the scene where I break Batman's back. Come on. Did we cover everyone?
Gary Oldman was good
Oh, of course. Yeah.
for the little time he
No,
was in.
yeah. Again, like someone, I don't know, like could he have been cut out probably? But like, yeah, it's Gary Oldman. I like Gary Oldman a lot, so.
Gary Oldman, I reckon he's the best actor in this movie. Don't you think?
Like just in like careers, like
Yeah,
and
just in
quality of
general.
actor.
In general.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that. Yeah. No, I actually would totally agree with that. Yeah. Jessica Chastain's probably my second favourite. But then, like, she didn't really do much for me in this movie, you know? But someone tells... Okay, no, I'm glad this is shaken out this way. I'm not going to lie. Because as I was watching it... Because I feel like this film... I think I saw, like, the film, like, had, like, decent enough scores and stuff. And as I was watching it, bloody... someone tells Jack, "Are you affected in the head?" I think was the line. Don't know how politically correct that is these days, but I wrote that down because I felt the same. Like as I was watching it and I was bored, I'm like, "Am I affected in the head?" You know, what's wrong with me watching this movie and being bored?
Bro, I thought you were going somewhere with that. Oh, god damn it.
What? What did you think I was going to do?
I don't know. I thought you were going to say... okay, sure.
Not something inappropriate, I hope. I would never.
No, I thought you were like going to go... I don't know. I thought you were going to like give insight into the film here. But
Into the line.
into the... Like you're going to say something good about the film, but...
No, I just thought I was crazy, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, because it's got like a 3.3 on Letterboxd or something.
That feels more right. Like it's higher on IMDb, of course, because yeah, all the IMDb bloody. I'm really starting to turn on the IMDb user base. To be honest, I'm really starting to. I'm starting to get. I feel like there was a couple years where, like, I would have told you 100%, like in the delineation between Letterboxd and IMDb average user scores. Like I'm on the IMDb side most of the time. I'm like totally the opposite now, dude. I'm with Letterboxd.
Really?
Dude, some of these IMDb scores are whack, honestly. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's just a more casual audience, and it's also an audience that's just more prone to review bombing stuff, which annoys me. Like you see that sometimes.
That's true. I think that's more for like political stuff or like TV shows. But that is true.
Yeah, less for films, but yeah. Anyway, when it came up that Nick Cave wrote this movie.
Oh yeah, dude, Jayden should have been here this week. Like the news, the Nick Cave thing.
As we'll get to later with the news, dude, this is probably the worst week of all time for Jayden not to be here because he can't he can't talk about Nick Cave and defend Nick Cave. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because he wrote this. I mean,
has he ever written a film? What's up with that?
Him. I don't know. Wait, let's have this quiz.
Like, I hate to say this, but I'm like going to take advantage of the fact Jayden isn't here and just sort of go out there. Like, is Nick Cave? This is too hard. Like, is Nick Cave like the most person you can blame for this? Because it is the script, right? Like, the direction's not great either. Like, it's not. It's fine. It's serviceable, as we've been saying. But I feel like the real problem here is the script in terms of why it's not compelling. You can throw him under the bus, Liam. Let's do it.
Is he the sole writer, or Nick Cave and Matt Bondurant, who's the writer of the book? Yeah, no, I think the script is definitely the worst element. So, yeah, we're throwing Nick Cave under the bus while Jayden's not here.
Doing it.
We'll take advantage.
We're doing it. Let's keep it going. Did you take note of the score at all? Because he also composed the film.
There was a little jingle that was okay, but other than that, I don't really remember much. Like the kind of, I think the jingle starts a film after they shoot the pig or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I forgot they shot
what
the
it
pig.
is, but it comes up every now and then. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you caught a jingle because I didn't. Yeah, no, I've got nothing to say about the score. I just feel like I just wanted to go all in on the Nick Cave slander while we can, you know?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Nick Cave did the score for Assassination Jesse James, and that's one of my favorite scores ever. So I'm not gonna throw him under the bus too much, but definitely a poor performance from Nick Cave overall. on this particular film.
Yeah, I'm not commenting on anything else he's ever done. I'm just saying in this particular project here.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. It would have been fascinating for Jayden to be here. Jayden, listen out in the ether for Jayden. Can you hear him?
Well, the thing is, Luke is also, when it comes to Nick Cave,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this, Luke, but you're kind of Jaden's like side man or minion. So if Luke hears about it, Jayden will hear about it, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're poking at the beehive. We're poking at the beehive a little bit.
Yeah,
but
you just call Luke Jayden's a Nick Cave minion.
It's true. No, it's not true. I'm joking. You're not his minion. For Nick Cave and that French singer and all that. That's not the case.
No,
and Dirty and all that. I'm just joking.
I don't know what would have been better because I didn't know Luke was going to obviously watch the film. Like, would it have been better like to do what we're doing right now and keep this up, or to have Luke on as the alternate Nick Cave fan perspective?
Right. Yeah.
Not that he disagrees with us on the film overall, but just in terms of the Nick Cave aspect. Maybe
that would have been more
insight.
Interesting because we could have a debate about that.
Probably
extend the runtime a bit. But yeah,
it probably would have been more interesting. But I'm having more fun this way. I'm not going to lie. Liam, does putting moonshine in the gas tank work?
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that one. At first I thought like that's pretty dangerous because wouldn't that like start a fire or something? But then I thought, well, alcohol and gasoline, like when you set fire to them, they both like they kind of they keep the fire and they like combust it or whatever. They like make it bigger. But mixed together, they don't necessarily start a fire, right? So, and if if they can both do that, then maybe they made a similar stuff, So maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think it would be very efficient.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so either. I just love the way it was presented. Like, you just threw it in, and then the car just went like ape shit. It was like you put in it's like you got a boost in Mario Kart. Like,
yeah, nitro, yeah. Totally.
Yeah, nitro boost the moonshine. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I don't know. Every time like I have a question like that, I just go back to, well, I don't know. It's based on a true story, I guess. It's based on a book. So,
sure. I actually like Dane DeHaan's like engineer type character. Yeah, just clever little inventions everywhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not that he was an interesting character, but an interesting concept.
just to be clear.
The idea of his character was interesting.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I'll try and actually analyze the film a little bit more. I must say, there is the one quite good scene, I thought, where Jessica, the one good scene between Jessica Chastain and Tom Hardy, where Tom Hardy's sort of confronting her and asks her about when he learns that she drove him to the hospital, and he asks if she was raped that night. In your opinion, and she says, I wasn't, and she stands by it, do you think Tom Hardy believes her?
No, I think the implication is that he doesn't believe her.
Okay.
Or that they're kind of communicating in, I don't know, like weirdly. But they know what each other's saying, kind of.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. Yeah. I didn't have an opinion, I was just curious what you thought. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was one of the more compelling scenes in the film. It was also pretty dumb that like Tom Hardy just believed that he walked when he was just like, I thought I walked there. Yeah. Like, why would you ever think that? You think you're just a beast or what? Imagine being that up yourself,
Well, if anything, I think that's where the movie was trying to like develop something, was like the idea that the three brothers are indestructible, and especially Tom Hardy. His whole mythos is that he's indestructible. And then in the end, he dies by, falling in ice and then getting pneumonia and walking back. So, like, I think that's where the ironic, like, drama is supposed to be, or the theme is supposed to be. But, I think that was actually like done pretty well in the end, because it did feel kind of random, his death.
Yeah, and I also took that was the point.
Okay.
Yeah. So I agree with that. And I appreciate that, at least thematically, because throughout the film, no doubt I already mentioned, one of the weirder aspects was just Tom Hardy surviving all these circumstances over and over again. Like, how he even survived the cutthroat thing in the first place was beyond me.
Oh yeah, he was like
But,
holding his throat together.
like, wasn't he literally on the ground, like, dying? Like, was it? I felt like he was 20 seconds away from death as we saw him there. And
Yeah.
he supposedly survived, so, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was dead. But no, I do appreciate, like, the film was very aware of that and then came back to it at the end of, like, yeah, like you said, the irony of it, like, oh, look at this guy slipped in a nice pond like a dumbass, and that's what killed him in the end, you know? But, so, like, I did get that, but I was wondering, like, I don't know, like, emotionally or even just idea-wise, like, because I registered it too, but did it connect with you in any way beyond that? Like, did it add anything to the experience overall? Because for me, like, I recognize it, but it's not additive to me. It's just like, okay, like, but why is sort of where I'm at.
Yeah. I just like the scene where it happens, I guess. I don't think it adds much to what happened previously. Like, I like what Shia LaBeouf kind of says about it. That it was just arbitrary and like dumb luck in the end. But yeah, it doesn't like enhance the other, like him surviving a million times. To me, I like just the family ending, like the narration at the end for some reason. I like that.
Oh yeah,
But, yeah.
At the end, like, yeah, when he has that closing narration, what is it? I didn't properly catch it. Like, I think like his last line in the film, he was talking about something to do with like just being at peace, sitting around and doing nothing. The fact that like he's just a farmer now, you know, he doesn't.
Oh yeah.
It was something
When he sits around and does nothing, it gets like real quiet. He said.
Yes, that's the line. Perfect. Yeah, and so I was thinking about that. Is it maybe like trying to focus on this idea of like the transition, from like being lawless to becoming regular people, like the idea of, I don't know, breaking down the legend, like we've already said about the invincibility of Tom Hardy's character, but like breaking down the legend of the idea of all these, like, we revere these criminals, these people did these crazy things, you know, where they went against the government and they had all these, you know, shootouts and all this crazy shit, but at the end of the day, they just die like regular ass people with no real legend with them, and they just live these peaceful lives. Like, does that make sense? Maybe that's sort of a connection I was making right there at the end that like might tie it all together. If that's coherent, I don't think the film did an amazing job of driving it, of like making me feel it emotionally. But like, I don't know, maybe like academically there is something there. I don't know.
Yeah, in terms of breaking down like the legend, I think that's like the overarching theme, yeah. Or the attempt, I guess. Which is very kind of Jesse James in itself, I guess. But
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it kind of works in the end. I think, like, yeah, settling down and kind of becoming normal.
Yeah. It's you know what? I agree with that. It's a weird case where like when you break it down, like we just did, like it's all there.
Yeah.
But I just didn't feel it. I don't know. Maybe it's just a misuse of, because I do, maybe one of the issues, I do feel that those ideas are interesting, but they really only feel like they're relevant. I know, like, the Tom Hardy being invincible thing is throughout, but in terms of what I'm talking about with the transition to the peaceful life, like, that's really only prevalent in the last 5 minutes. It's just sort of shoved in there.
Yeah, I think
so. Maybe, yeah, go for it.
This might be dumb, but I think one thing that might have been missing from the film was like actual reverence for the brothers, because then the concept of legend, which is like a social concept, I guess, would be kind of would have more weight to it, I guess. And the brothers are obviously feared, and kind of for good reason, because they do violent things. The two older brothers do, at least. But I feel like if you had some time away from them, and you've just had characters who like were talking about them or are like, you know, kind of fascinated by them, that might give some weight to it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Because there really isn't much of that at all. And that's, I just, maybe, I think it just needed to maybe use its preceding, I don't know, hour and a half just a bit more effectively to build up some scenes like that. Maybe even to introduce the idea of them wanting to transition to retirement, like, and sort of make that a through line throughout the film, like it's something they're always thinking about they might want to do and how they want to get out, maybe. You know, like just sort of introduce some of these ideas earlier and sprinkle it throughout a bit more evenly.
Script doctors over here.
I love when we get into this mode, especially me when I always try and rewrite films with my terrible ideas. But I must say though, like I one of my main thoughts, especially at the end, because I must say, like just in terms of a pure action set piece, I thought the final shootout was cool. Like the way everyone was getting completely blasted and wrecked, and it felt like bits were flying out of everyone, and it felt like a lot of people were getting injured, and it felt quite significant.
Yeah,
so like,
that's pretty good.
And the tension was quite good. I mean, despite how totally irrational Guy Pearce's character is, as we already talked about, when he just like won't stand down for no reason. Outside of that, though, like the tension of like you can see everyone there doesn't really want to shoot or anything, but then like one or two of them continue to escalate the drama of it. So that's like I thought that was quite good as a scene. But yeah, I don't know. Like I just feel like that scene in particular made me think like this movie rearranged could make like a really good pilot to a TV show. You know what I mean? Like a show that that's set in this time period follows the escalation of the war. Because the problem is that instead of it feeling like a war, it feels like this film meanders and takes ages building to this quote unquote war that lasts 10 minutes at the end, and then they all like just go into retirement. Like I feel like it could be an interesting thing if this was like 1 hour and you see the start of the different political things, and then it ends in the shootout where something crazy happens, and that starts this like TV series that is like this war between. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
Just an idea.
I feel like the film, like especially at the end with that shootout, what happened was like the kind of the locals, they came to the aid of the Bondurant brothers, and the thing that they set up a little bit earlier, but probably should have done more of, was like the relationships between like the other moonshiners and stuff, because they do say that like the other dudes like are involved in that, and Guy Pearce like cracks down on them, but we don't really see much of that or their relationships.
And and you could see in a TV show that being a much more significant part, and then also if you have like, you know, Gary Oldman's part in terms of like that side of the world.
Yeah.
Like the more city, the gangster style of it, like that being a whole nother branch you can explore in a long form fashion, you know?
Yeah. I didn't think it would be more violent, to be honest. Like it was violent in parts, but just the like, I mean, the title Lawless, the vibe of the poster, just Gary Oldman's crazy character. I think more shooting would happen, but
no, there wasn't a lot. Yeah, because you know you're right. Violent shit happens. Like Tom Hardy gets his friggin' throat cut pretty bad. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, it sort of lacks a visceral nature. I don't know. It doesn't feel super violent when you watch it. I had to note here. This is here because I found this trivia as I was scrolling through, as I always do. This is the worst trivia I've ever seen on IMDb. Okay, just because users, you know how users add these pieces of trivia. This is so bad. I can't believe, and people liked it. I can't believe it. Okay, at one point, Maggie asks Forrest in the film, "Isn't that just like you to believe your own damn legend?" Tom Hardy would later start.
So legend, dude. I was already thinking that. I was thinking that while I watched it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's trivia for you. That's terrible. Oh god, I'm glad you thought of it too. When you thought of it as you were watching it, though, did you think, "Man, I should add this to IMDb's trivia page"?
It's like a tidbit. It's not trivia. It's like
it's barely a tidbit. It's like it's pure coincidence and nothingness. Oh my god, you can say that about anything, honestly. Yeah. Okay. Andy wrote in a review for Lawless.
Did he?
Here's what he said. He did.
Wait, what?
It's
Did you
very
watch
exciting.
it?
I guess he must have.
Okay.
I hope so. Andy said, they actually stuck a poster of Lawless at the media and loans office at Vic Uni, so I had some high hopes for this film. Oh, wow. Hillcoat's brutal direction is pretty nice, but ultimately useless and forgettable. Wow. The final climax was amazing, though, because that's when the graceful execution started to kick in. But overall, other violent scenes were sometimes overcut and lacked any interesting style to make this film memorable as a whole. This is such a generalization, but it just felt like an average mainstream film with a stacked cast of prolific actors. To be competing for a Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival,
Palme
is that like the big award at the festival?
Yeah.
The Palme d'Or. Okay, that makes sense. Lawless is definitely one of those films that I know the jury would have not cared about. Not sure if I'm convinced by these thrillers that are based on a true story kind of film, but I'm glad that after watching Lawless, I like Michael Mann's Public Enemies a bit more now. So he made the comparison as well. 6 out of 10. Thank you, Andy. Very good review. I must say, I also have that experience of sometimes when you see posters around in your life, you think, oh, wow, it sort of builds up the film in your mind for no reason. Like, oh, wow, I've seen that poster around. Maybe it's a good film.
Sure.
Luke also wrote a review for, what's it called? Lawless. He said, Nick Cave was a nice surprise. Other than that, pretty mid. 5 out of 10.
Succinct.
Very succinct. Very well done, Luke. Thank you. I must say though, I am glad that Luke has learned the virtue of logging on Letterboxd, and also that came first, and then reviewing as well.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good. His Interstellar review was very good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we can get to our own final verdicts for Lawless, I guess. Fitzy, what are you going to give it?
Between a 4 and a 5.
I'm the exact same.
I'll give it a 4, just for engagement sake, interest sake. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
After the first viewing session, where I stopped probably around, like, I think I pretty much watched 2 acts, and I left it for a day, I thought I was going to give it a 4. For the same reason, like, nothing egregiously bad about it, but just nothing at all remotely to appreciate either. The third act did have some things where I like we were talking about, some interesting things to talk about. You know, some pieces that can make interesting ideas. So for that reason, I will bump it up to a 5. But yeah, I was in the same place between the two. Overall, pretty average.
Meh.
Yeah. Summarize it in a sound. Perfect. Perfect. All right, let's get into sort of, I guess, mini news chat. We were just talking about before the show, the same with the Nick Cave thing, dude. This is the worst week for Jayden not to be here because there was a Fast 10 trailer he could have told us all about. I did watch it, but I don't know, you know what my opinion on it, because it's like, I don't know anything about this franchise. Jason Momoa was the villain, which is kind of fun.
Okay.
John Cena's back, always fun. But like, other than that, I don't know, it looked like a Fast and Furious trailer to me, so like, you know, there were cars doing crazy shit, that's cool. There was also a Luther trailer for this Netflix film that Jayden's really excited about, but I know nothing about Luther, so I don't know. I do want to watch it, though. It's on my watch list.
Really?
When will I get to it? I don't know. Probably in like 5 years. The only other mini news chat I've got for you, Fitzy, is that there were 3 new Disney films greenlit this week. Okay? I just want to get your thoughts on them. Frozen 3. What does that do for you? Are you a Frozen person?
Frozen? No, I haven't seen Frozen 2, so I can't really be excited for Frozen 3 yet, but maybe when I get to it, I will.
I don't think you will, but yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
It's fine. Probably not. Zootopia 2.
Zootopia is a film that I want to watch.
So, you haven't seen it? Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I must say, like, I think it came out in 2014, I want to say. Around there anyway. And I think it's a really good film. I enjoyed it, but like, I think the whole, no spoilers. Like, I don't know. The whole film's like a commentary on racism, right, and like prejudice, and like I feel like that got a bit too much credit. You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, it's a Disney film and it's about animals, but it's so clever because it's racism and it's like, and it's about how we should all, you know what I mean? I feel like that part of it got a bit overplayed,
Did
in
it?
my
Oh,
opinion.
okay.
At least I don't know. I feel like I saw that quite a bit at the time, but anyway, it's a very good film anyway. But then here's the main event right here: Toy Story 5.
Toy Story 5?
Have you seen 4?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How do you feel about a 5th one? Because I feel like they've ended this franchise twice now successfully, and are they going to do it a 3rd time?
Well, yeah, it's going to be like Buzz's send-off story or something.
That's what it would sort of have to be. Yeah. Right? You think so?
No, but I would still like be there watching that.
Oh,
I still
100%.
watch it in the cinema. So.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That's the thing. Like, I must admit, when I saw this, I was like, my immediate reaction was like, oh, what? But at the end of the day, I always try. Pixar have literally done no wrong with this series so far. Everyone said the same thing about 4. Oh, why are you doing a 4th one? No one cares. The 3rd one was a great conclusion. And it's like, I think the 4th one's awesome too. So, like, I don't know. Like, I've got no reason to doubt this either. But just on paper, it sort of is like 3 was a great ending. 4 was a great ending. I guess your point about Buzz is sort of the only logical step that comes to mind, which would be cool. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was my really exciting news chat. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, let's get into our highlights of the week. Fitzy, what have you been watching?
I started rewatching the Harry Potter films. So that's fun.
I think I'm about to do that too.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing it because, Hogwarts Legacy and also Knock at the Cabin, Rupert Grint had that. So in that.
Isn't it funny how Rupert Grint's sort of become an M. Night actor now, which is cool.
Is he in something else?
He's in Servant. He's in all of Servant.
Wait, what's
which is
Servant?
M. Night's TV show. His Apple show, yeah. That's
cool. Well, he's been in... He was in a Netflix series, I think, Lovesick. Other than that, I don't really know what else I've seen him in lately. But yeah, it's cool. His return, it's cool. But yeah, Harry Potter's cool. I like Harry Potter. I genuinely haven't rewatched Harry Potter since a long time. Probably more than 10 years, if I'm being honest. So.
Oh wow! Yeah.
That's why I was so bad at the trivia, and it's amazing how many things in Harry Potter I'm like, oh, that wasn't the trivia, in each movie. I was like, I should do the trivia now. I'll be really good.
Yeah.
But no, Prisoner of Azkaban, it's a great movie. I love that movie. So I'm excited now. I'm like past the bump, So
yeah.
I'm into the good stuff now. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like past the point where like I don't know anything about this, but like you're past this weird point where like I think I sort of get the impression JK thought she was writing like fairly self-contained stories based on each year at Hogwarts.
Oh yeah.
And then but in the 4th one she realized, oh no, I want to tell a saga actually. And then so she just started doing that in the 4th one. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what happened. That's sort of what it feels like.
That's true.
That's always the part I like to get to. Yeah.
Do you think the 3rd one's not a part of that?
No, it's not.
No.
I mean, no, I don't think so. I think it's a great story, but like, it's got literally no involvement from Voldemort, and I feel like that's the giveaway.
Oh, okay. I was actually thinking of this in the bathroom. I was thinking to myself, if I had to segment the Harry Potter films into 3 sections. Obviously, I think the first 3 would be like part 1, and then I was thinking the second would just be Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix, and then the 3rd part would be the other 3 films. I don't know if Half-Blood Prince would be a part of the second part, but I think it would be the 3rd part. I think it's like that late.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, and I think it's because Half-Blood Prince introduces the Horcruxes, which is the entire plot of the final thing. Yeah. yeah, I think you're totally spot on about that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good. Harry Potter's really great. So,
So you watch. So you're up to Goblet of Fire? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, up to Goblet of Fire.
I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna jump in Azkaban. That's where I start. I'm fine with that.
That's fair enough.
You know, yeah, because like the Chris Columbus films, like they're really good. Like I'm all about them personally, but like I don't know. I feel like I never need to rewatch them though. I feel like I just don't get excitement out
Yeah.
of revisiting them.
Well, I was saying to someone I think I was saying to Luke, I'm gonna rewatch Harry Potter. I'm just gonna start at Azkaban. But the thing is, I haven't actually seen the first two in ages. So if I had seen it, semi recently, I wouldn't rewatch.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Dude, I haven't really been watching anything like to talk about. I mean, I've been continuing to watch Atlanta, and we did finish the first season of that, so I guess I can talk about that. And I feel sort of weird doing these like at the season breaks, but 'cause there's still so much. But I'll just say, like, I really like Atlanta. I think it's fantastic. I didn't really know anything about it. I think, how did it come up? Like, we were sort of just looking for something more light to watch. Like, my brother and I like watching shows that are sort of in the 20 to 30-minute range that we can sort of squeeze in. And so it came up for that reason. And it's just hilarious. Like, Donald Glover's fantastic. Dude, Brian Tyree Henry is incredible in the show, though. I've just got to say that. His character and everything, he's fantastic. Like, Keith Stanfield is hilarious. Like, the cast is great. The writing's hilarious. I don't know, like, I've always been a fan of Donald Glover in terms of him, like, I like him as Lando. I like some of his music. Not that I'm a huge fan or anything, but like I've always enjoyed him. But I'm like seeing this show, and like he created this show and directs and writes a ton of the episodes. Like his hands are all over the everything about it. So like this was the first time like watching the show so far where I'm like, oh, this guy is like beyond what I thought he was. Like he is like I would watch anything this guy directs. Like he is actually like a fantastic filmmaker in my opinion. And I just didn't know that about him beforehand, Like it's so clear that these episodes like every episode is so different, but then also like has this continuing identity of like the show's got very, clear themes and a sense of humor throughout, but every episode's quite very different. And there are some one-off episodes that are just totally wild, but fun as well. So yeah, I don't know. Check out Atlanta. I'm looking forward to finishing it,
Cool.
Cool. And you can get that on Disney Plus. Remember.
Plus. Hmm.
Remember. Yeah. Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, what is your favourite Tom Hardy performance? Where do I start here? Luke said, now is not the time for Fear Doctor, that comes later. What is he referencing, you ask? Well, my favourite Tom Hardy performance is Bane. Memorable lines, charm, charisma, passion. I really believe that there is a face mask that is keeping him alive.
Very good choice.
Very good choice. Andy said, I probably have a feeling I won't choose Lawless. Oh, some time travel happening on the show here. I think he was right. So my favourite Tom Hardy performance is in Bronson, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. I botched.
That's actually good. No, I think that was right.
No way, really?
It could be Winding, but I think Winding is acceptable.
Yeah, I'm never gonna.
Refn.
Anyone could get that wrong. That's not dumbass sack territory. Like anyone could say Winding or Winding. Tom plays a real life prisoner who likes to call himself Bronson, and his performance here is unapologetically frightening and sometimes funny, like that scene where he's serving tea. His penis appears in the film too. Well, why didn't you lead with that? Seeing as you guys like talking about them on the show. Shit, have you seen that film, Bronson?
No. I'll have to watch it now, though. No.
I've never heard of it. We got to do it for the show. We need another penis in the rankings. Or we could just Google his dick if you want.
Yeah, we could do that.
Don't clear your search history.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It depends how brave you are, I guess. Okay. Favourite Tom Hardy performance. Where's your head at, Liam? You knew it coming into the show, so I'm curious.
Oh, yeah, sure. My favourite is Locke, which is just pretty much just him, Tom Hardy, in a car for 2 hours. And it's all phone calls. And basically, I don't know, it's just a great character study film. You just kind of watch him try to deal with like his life kind of crumbling apart, and yeah, it's really awesome. Yeah.
I've never heard of that, but that sounds awesome.
Tom Holland
should
is
check
actually
it
in it, I think, as a child actor. He's one of the voices.
Oh,
This is
that's
like
weird.
his son.
One of the voices.
Yeah, like it's all like phone calls. So he's like one
Are they
of the
British?
people. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got much more boring answers. My favourite is obviously Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Oh,
No. Actually, in looking at Tom Hardy's filmography, I'm not going to lie, I was sort of like, I know Tom Hardy's a great actor, don't get me wrong. But, like, I've realised, wow, there's actually not a ton I love him in, really, compared to some other people, you know? I've got to say right off the bat that Bane is my favourite. That I just didn't want to be too boring, but I totally agree. Like, Bane is this, I don't know, he's like this interesting, weird thing where, like, he's so funny. Like, it's so funny to do the Bane lines genuinely and, like, and to make fun of it, like, outside of the film's context when we're just talking. Like, and I find that endlessly funny and entertaining. It's like iconic in that pop culture way where it just seeped into everything and everyone knows what you're doing and it's so much fun. But then it has this really weird quality where then when you turn on the film though, you totally buy into it and take it seriously. Like, I don't really understand how it's able to walk that line. But like, as I'm watching the film, like, I think that all the lines are really good and they're really memorable. And like what Luke says about having charisma is spot on. But like when I'm watching the film, I'm not laughing at Bane and what he says. Like, I think it's badass. I think it's awesome. But then I can step away from the film and like have fun, like repeating it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just has reached a certain level of iconicness, I guess. That's quite unique. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, sure.
But it's cool. But then the other one, just to be more interesting, is Inception. Not that it's that interesting, actually, because it's pretty popular. But, I mean, he's great in Inception. I just love that sort of suave British guy who's also... I don't know, how would you describe Arthur? Wait, is his name Arthur? Or is that
so.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
True, I don't know. But, wait, is he British? He's British, right?
Yeah, he's British. He's this suave British guy who I'd say has got this, like... I don't know. He's got a sense of humour for sure. I don't know. He's like, there's a word, I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
He's like, he's goddamn, like he's quick-witted, but that's not what I mean. He's got a bit of sass, I guess.
Okay.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not like generic suave British guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yeah, Inception is great. Don't know what his character's name is still. It might be Arthur, but I'm not actually sure. Oh, no, I don't think it is not. Arthur. Is it like, it's something sort of weird. Like, it's like a surname.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
What is it?
It's Eames.
Eames. Oh, Eames. Yeah. I did know that, but I wouldn't have picked it. Okay. Jayden was yelling at the goddamn, I don't know, yelling at the headphones or whatever, yelling at the screen. On that note, we'd love you to submit your questions, thoughts, reviews for next week's film in the YouTube comment section. Send us a DM on Instagram or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is, and I hope this isn't too specific, but I think it's quite a good one, actually. What is your favourite scene involving an onstage theatre performance? Now, do we want to go film? Would you count TV too? Because I have an answer and it's TV.
Yeah. I don't mind.
You don't mind? So would you say like favourite scene in media involving onstage theatre performance? Or we don't need to specify. What is your favourite scene involving an onstage theatre performance?
But it can't be like the Hamilton recording or some shit. It has to be.
No, because that is an onstage media performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a scene involving it. Yeah. But damn, I would have probably chosen Hamilton then, I guess. But yeah, anyway. That's not what I was going to choose. So yeah, let us know. I also want to know, side question, specific a brand new question of the show just for Jayden. Jayden can only answer. How was this episode? Rate this episode, Jayden. Let us know what you thought.
That should
He's
be
gonna hate it.
we should have that question for every two-man episode.
Yeah, we should. I think he's going to hate it, but we'll see. I don't know. All right, that's it for this week's episode of Cinema Effect. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Fitzy, what are we doing next week?
We are returning again to Magic Mike with the brand new installment out in theaters, new to the world. Steven Soderbergh's back as well. Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Oh yeah, dude.
We're gonna all go to the cinemas to watch it.
Hell yeah, we are. What are your hype levels right now for this film?
Pretty standard. I think like 7. I don't know. Not too hyped.
Okay.
What about you? Are you hyped?
Yeah, I put myself at an 8, and I'm pretty hyped.
Okay.
I'm pretty excited. I just like I feel like I'm just extra excited because I'm surprised I'm excited, but I'm excited.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's weird, but yeah, I'm into it. I'm really into it. We're definitely Jayden's not going to get his way, right? We are doing this together.
Oh yeah, we gotta stand strong on that one.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We got to make it happen. Because if not, we're missing the chance for like a memorable Cinema Effect bonding experience. I think.
Yeah.
We got to take these chances when they come. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in once again. Thanks Liam for joining me as always. Have a great rest of your week and goodbye.